How's it going, guys? Dungeon here with a video, and today we're going to be doing a tips and tricks on the Blackjack Specialist. This guy dropped roughly a week ago, and he has been a breath of fresh air to use and a great way to spice up Call of Duty, and he's free. Who would have thought that? Well, he's technically free once you complete the weekly contracts because you get him for about an hour. So onto the Blackjack Specialist himself. This guy has two specialist abilities, one being Rogue, which allows you to get the ability of the last person you just killed once you filled your meter, and the other ability being Gambler, which gives you a random specialist ability of the 18 specialist abilities that we have in the game once you filled up your meter. Now, there are two differences between these specialists. Rogue requires you to just purely get kills, and that's it. You just have to get kills to fill up your meter. It's required at least 5 kills before you get the specialist ability of the person you just killed, whereas Gambler requires you to just fill your meter up. So it's just like any other specialist where you just have to fill your meter up, and then you'll get a random specialist ability of the 18 specialist in the game. Now, my first tip for using this guy is, of course, have overclock on. I highly recommend you have overclock on, because if you're running Rogue, then you only need 3 kills. So if you're going to jump into a kill game and just kind of like TDM, and you're going to drop like 30 kills, and you get, obviously, with overclock, you're looking at like 10 specialist abilities or 10 times to use a specialist ability, because obviously there's only going to be 6 other people on the team. They might all have the same one or might have different ones, so you're only looking at roughly at least a maximum of 6 different special abilities to get your hands on, but you're going to be able to get them roughly 10 times if you drop 30 kills. Now, Gambler, on the other hand, requires slightly more kills because obviously you're just filling your meter up. If you have overclock on, you only need 4 kills, which is only 1 extra kill than obviously overclock with Rogue, but still, if you have overclock on with Gambler, you're looking at roughly 4 kills, and if you were to capture 3 flags, you also fill your bar up or your specialist meter up, and then you get yourself a specialist, well, a random one of the 18. On to my next tip, which is, of course, the game mode you're going to jump into. Now, if you're going to be jumping into a game mode which is obviously objective based, then I definitely recommend you use the Gambler, because you're going to be able to fill up your meter a lot quicker with capturing the points, whether it's capture the flag or hard point or even domination. Then you're going to be able to capture flags, fill your meter up a lot quicker. With overclock as well, you're going to be able to get those specialist abilities so quick by playing the objective and getting kills. It's going to be a great way to just rack up kills and have great gameplays. If you're going to be using the Rogue Specialist, then I definitely recommend you jump into a TDM and just kind of rack up as many kills. Especially with overclock, you're only looking at 3 kills, and you're going to be able to just keep racking up the specialist ability and kind of just having fun with this guy and just using specialist abilities as frequently as possible. Unless you're one of those guys who just jumps into a domination, you know, and goes for kills. I know who you are, and I'm watching you. Now, on to tip number 3 is use your best gun. Now, I know that sounds really like a newbie thing to say, but you only get this guy for 1 hour game time, which sucks because he's a great specialist to use, and I really enjoy using them. But to kind of balance out on getting this guy, you know, through the weekly contracts and so on, it does make sense to kind of have this guy only for an hour. So I would suggest using the best gun you're comfortable with. In the background, you guys are going to see a gameplay of me using the VMP. That's a gun that I'm very, very good with and comfortable using. I tend to win roughly 60 to 70% of my gunfights close range anyway. So that's one of the reasons why I just whack on the best gun I can, whack on a very newbie class, you know, allows me to obviously stop being seen with Ghost and then just kind of rack up a decent gameplay. On to tip number 4, and this tip is pretty much just use the specialist ability the moment you get it, or use it when you feel comfortable, as if someone's going to be around the corner, or it's going to benefit you for capturing a flag or an objective, or just kind of getting a kill or holding down a point, or maybe holding spawns in general, because you're going to be able to get the specialist ability straight away after, or pretty quick after, as long as you're kind of in with the action. So I definitely suggest using your specialist abilities, popping them as much as possible, and of course, if you guys don't feel comfortable with the specialist ability that obviously you've got, you can actually rack one on top of another. So if you're using Gambler, you can gamble it for another one, then go ahead and gamble it. But if you happen to be using Gambler and you pick, or you happen to get the specialist ability that you're comfortable with, definitely keep it and use it to your advantage that you can. With Rogue, of course, if you can choose between the two of the last one previous that you've got, definitely pop it straight away if you can when you get the opportunity, purely because this is going to help you and your playstyle when playing. Now, the last tip I'm going to be giving you guys is kind of like a no-brainer, is the kill streaks. Now, whatever you have or whatever you feel comfortable with, then obviously you just go with it. It's pretty much a no-brainer. In the gameplay in the background, I actually run UAV, Hater, and Raps. I tend to run a support role when it comes to score streaks, so I always have that high killing one, whether it's a Wraith or Raps at the end. But personally, to me, I feel like it was a horrible idea running Raps in domination, purely because people tend to back out quicker than I pull out of my ex-girlfriend, you know, so obviously it's not a great great idea to run kill streaks like that when you're trying to rack up as many kills, especially if you end up like what I'm doing here, where I just run around the map and there's only one guy in the lobby which we're trying to chase down, and I'm pretty much wasting time with my blackjack, which sucks, but that's kind of like my own fault for kind of calling in raps. But that's pretty much it. So that's kind of it for my tips and tricks on this guy. If there's anything I missed that you guys feel like I should have inputted, don't forget to comment down below. If this helped you out or you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And this has been Dentune, and happy blackjacking, guys.